Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another quick discussion thread. And today the devs are speaking on just more information when it comes to the conversation system in the game, and also whenever you try to convince somebody of either joining you, marrying you, and stuff of that nature, right? So they have posted a little bit, as you can see right over here. There's a couple of posts, some having to do with the hotfix we recently received. So I thought, why not? Let's check it out, see if there's any information, and go from there. Alrighty, so it starts right here. Alrighty, so first the player states, while we are waiting for the dev to answer a most important question from the man with the manly banner, okay, what were Tailroad's plans for voiceovers? Were they dropped because it's an AAA feature and Bannerlord is supposed to be an unpolished gem? Okay, dog, I see the shots you're throwing already. Alright, let's see what the dev says. Check Hotfix Notes. The bug was slightly different from what Bannerman showed. The decompiled code isn't quite right. We had a chat in the PMs, and basically the cause of the issue is that the assignment of the weights was nested with a debug code, which meant that everything looks great to the people running the game in debug, but not for those of you playing it regularly. I won't go into details, but we haven't said that we dropped voiceovers. Interesting. He said, listen, dog, we ain't dropped it yet. You never know what's to come. That would be kind of cool. We'll see what kind of voiceovers they do have. Currently, what is it, like 2 different characters have voiceovers right now? Currently, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it just one? Is it just Estonia? Or is it the other guy, Argos? Arzagos? Whatever his name is. I think it's those 2, unless I think it might just be Estonia. Let me know if it's both of them. Because I'm pretty sure I picked Estonia whenever I did my playthrough. But other than that, what he's talking about in terms of the assignment of weights, it's pretty much how AI talks to you based on their traits and based on your traits. You know, if someone is very dishonorable and you're very honorable, he's not going to talk to you like with honor. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He's going to talk to you with dishonor and stuff like that. And what he's saying is, if you play in the debug mode, which is like, I'm pretty sure one of those, it's a testing phase that you can do that provides a lot more information to the devs as you're playing. If you play it in that mode, then the game looks good and the weights are, or the conversation weights are as usual. But if you are playing it regularly, which the majority of people are, there is a bug. So let's move on to the next page. Then we have the player responds again. Thanks for dropping by, but does this mean that the weight/tag system is the planned dialogue system? Never mind that debug code thing. And will it be enabled and expanded in the future? Dev responds, yes, it is an intended system and should, hopefully, work better with today's fix. Technically, it already worked, but due to the wrong weights, the existing range of lines and quips wasn't always properly prioritized/applied. And what he means by this is, for some reason, in, either in the beta or the live, whichever one you play with, the range of lines wasn't there. The AI didn't pick different lines of text that they were going to greet you with, or say goodbye to you with, based on their traits and your traits, which they should, and which would make it for better gameplay because they would have a little bit more of a personality, right? And obviously we got the fix on the, what is this? This is the 4th, right? Yes, on the 4th of this month, which is about 3 days ago. And the fix was fix an issue that caused conversation tag weights that affect dialogue variation to be set improperly. There it is. And could someone explain this to me? Okay, so here's the best way I can explain it to you. So, as he states, this affects dialogue variation. And what that means is, depending on the traits of the AI Lord and also your traits, the different ways of saying hello, different ways of saying goodbye, just different ways of talking, they're going to talk to you differently because they're technically have different traits. They're different types of people. And the problem was before was, that they would all just talk to you in the same way. And a lot of people were saying, everyone was being lifeless, everyone was talking the same. It just didn't feel like anyone had any traits to them, even though they really do have traits in game. With this fix, it should now make it more, what's the word for it? There's a bigger variation. There's a bigger set of stuff that they can tell you In terms of like, they're not going to just all say hello my lord or hello this. So they're going to kind of like mix it up a little bit based on their traits and based on your traits, if that kind of makes sense. It's gonna be better gameplay in terms of conversation. Dev says, I didn't build the system and may have misunderstood some bits and pieces, so take this with a grain of salt. Okay, so he's going to explain it. My understanding is that the various conversation lines, for example, the spouse strings, which is your spouse, the person you're married to, are tagged, and these tags have weights. Tags themselves either require or prohibit, depending on whether they are weighted positive or negative, a particular condition. So pretty much an if-and statement. If, like kind of like right over here, if you're married, if you have a spouse, then the spouse should talk to you differently because that spouse tag holds weight. And depending on the weight, whichever one, I'm guessing, let's try to put in a metaphor of actual weights, right? If a weight is heavier, that's the one that's going to come up in the description line or in the conversation line. So let's keep reading. For example, if a dialogue has a positive cruel tag, only cruel characters will use it. There you go. So if in the dialogue there's a cruel tag, then cruel characters will like it and use it. Weights in turn. What in the world? Why did my thing oh my, that scared me. I thought that was somebody in my room. Oh my god. Dude, oh my god. I got, like, man, you don't even know. Oh, I got security camera. I was like, man, how did someone show up in my room? But, my bad. That gave me like a shiver. It was just the Netflix. It just, for some reason, just decided to unmute. Okay, my bad. Let's continue. He states, if a dialogue has a positive, we read that. Weights in turn are used to find the most appropriate line, highest weight out of a pool of possible lines. There you go. Like I stated, the one that weighs the most or has the highest weight will be chosen. Very simply put, they are what makes a spouse go with my husband/wife instead of captain. Both are possible. One is more appropriate. Exactly. The my husband and wife should be the one that's more appropriate than captain, and that's the one that will be picked because it has more weight. There you go. What else we have? We have a player asking a question. Oh, I see. Thank you for the explanation. So in theory, our wife shouldn't call us captain anymore, and cruel enemies should not greet us with honor to you. And Dev responds, yes, assuming the latter is tagged and weighted accordingly. If it works how it's supposed to, then yes, that's how it's supposed to be. What else we got? This person says, now I know why this happened, and look at their faces. They're literally trolling my guy. What is this? So this guy, they're laughing. He's saying, you have done a wise thing. Kleos, serve me well, and I promise you, you will rise high. Thank you, my lord. And this one, farewell. If no one slits your throat out here, perhaps we shall meet again. What in the world? Still smiling. And look at their faces. They're literally trolling. And Dev responds, facial expressions are a separate matter. So, interesting. Maybe they shouldn't be. Maybe in the future they won't be. I think that would kind of add to it. If he greets you aggressively, then he shouldn't have a happy face on, if that kind of makes sense, right? Except for like the super crazy guys. Because, well, I don't know if you know, but, there's people you should kind of be afraid of. But then you should really be afraid of the guys who are feared and also very happy at the same time. If you know, you know. But if you don't, then, take it from a video game standpoint. But there's real life examples as well. But apart from that, facial expressions are a separate matter. Okay. It kind of makes it random again. I don't think people are going to like that personally. I don't mind it, really. I play, Bannerlord kind of for the sandbox. I don't really, delve too much into these little things, but at the same time I can see why people might want it to be kind of intertwined with their decision making and the type of tone and stuff they're using for their conversation. But I think that will do it for me. Very interesting. Hopefully this kind of explained it. It's kind of weirdly worded. It's kind of hard to explain, but pretty much with the hotfix, what should happen now is if everything works according to plan, depending on variables in your gameplay, like let's say if you're married to someone, your partner should say my husband or my wife instead of captain when you meet with them. And if you meet a cruel character, he will say something cruel, something like that. You know what I mean? It's based on the traits and stuff, and hopefully it does work like that, because I think that will increase gameplay and just the variety and variation of stuff that's said. But yeah, that will do it for me. Ask me any questions, any concerns, and like always, stay safe.